manifest that in a day or so if you just know how to use your mind to talk to people. But if you're doing it from like an environmental standpoint, it's so there's so many things that can happen, but you don't know that it can happen. That sometimes you have a bigger chance of backfire.
Mm.
Yeah, like the one thing about like if you look into like Native American shamanism, like African beliefs that and their traditions, they always like worship the elements in nature. Like the Aboriginals too in Australia, they had like a really good connection with the planet, but it was more like a submissive state because the planet was such a crazy environment.
Right.
They at times would go to a god, you know what I'm saying, and like worship that God, but like that God for some reason would just smite them down because he thought that like they just deserved that for some reason. Um Also you see like that same kind of I don't know because I also look at Greek mythology and how they see their because people also don't understand too like when it comes to your belief system, what you believe in that influences you as an individual. Again, that's your environment slowly manipulating you. With like for example with Greece, I think it was Greece. I'm pretty sure it was Greece. The Spartans, they said that they were descendants of gods, but obviously we can't verify if that's true or not. But that thought process, that drill, that precision of the mind, like a sharpshooter, drove them towards a certain goal, and they manifested it.
Right.
But like when they manifested, they had to go back to their imagination because what they believed in was a construct in their mind. They thought they were gods. They thought their weapons were forged by almighty beings that were like beyond their control. Like that energy, if you will, that vibration caused the result of the Spartans. 300.
Right.
Now when you do that with yourself or the environment, you always have to understand that you are part of what you're trying to manifest. The all is in one and the one is in all. So you got to realize that you may manifest something in your life that might, like, utterly destroy you because that's just how it is. And I don't mean like utterly destroy you like you're gonna disintegrate, but I mean like more of a, like an egotistical sense where like everything just seems like nothing because you dive too deep into, you know what I'm saying, like the expansiveness of what the universe can manifest. Like I know there's times like you hear about like the magicians saying that they manifested some being, and like ever since that point in time, like their lives never actually been the same. Like they always had that inclination in their mind that something was constantly after them, trying to get them, insanity, if you will. I don't. I think that's really all I had to say. If I have anything else, no, I mean I ain't saying I'm into the show, but like as far as
Right.
just like I think that's all I have on perception, Maddie, so far. If there's anything else that I can, because I'm still trying to.
What about
work this stuff.
repetition?
Yes, ma'am.
Repetition, like continuously showing somebody the same symbol over and over and over, because I know in marketing, I mean, they do a lot of repetition. I mean, I guess that what comes down to like ritual work and things of that nature as far as involving your sigil and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing with perception magic. Because you're right. It's all you do have to repeat a lot of your processes that you're doing. Like if you want to influence somebody to say that, I was looking at this mentalism video. I forgot the guy's name, but he influenced a crowd of people to lean more towards the three of diamonds just by hand gestures, and they like randomly picked the card in the deck. And when he did that, he manifested a result. He manipulated the people around him to manifest a certain result. Also too, because of that constant repetition, your thought patterns change. Like you become a different person because you have to inherit a different programming, if you will, of just thought. I was in the Marine Corps, and there's certain things that were drilled in my mind from repetition that I just can't get rid of. Like I'm always going to think in the process of all right, that's like the corporal, that's the sergeant, that's the staff sergeant of a situation. Like for example, when I'm at work, and because of that constant repetition that you have to constantly invoke within somebody else and within yourself, you're going to slowly start. Well, I just let everybody. You won't be able to understand it until you actually try it. But let's say, for example, that you want to influence somebody with a heart or something. Like you want somebody to see more of the heart. You have to constantly put it in their face. Like again, you don't have to like show them like this is a heart. Like you have to slowly, constantly put it in a situation where they're able to perceive it.
Right.
And like to say, like how you said before with marketing, that's exactly how they do it as well. Like, guess how many commercials that you just see on a daily basis on the internet or on television, and it's oftentimes the same commercial until the company comes out with something fresh. Because eventually your mind's gonna get used to seeing the same kind of stimulus over and over again. How many Hot Pockets commercials have you seen, or how many McDonald's commercials you've seen? Because of stuff like that,
Right,
they're
and they get
constantly
stuck in your head.
Exactly. Like ba da ba ba ba, I'm loving it. Like that's a constant repetition of always hearing McDonald's just jingles all the time, and it's so catchy.
Right.
There was saw this one video where they were saying about how it was like a certain way of how you said it that made it click in your mind because it's easy to click onto. Like you know the sacred numbers and stuff like 3, 5. Well, I don't know if they're sacred, but like just important numbers like 3, 5, 7. Yeah, like their correspondence is like it applies the same way with repetition as well. If you want this kind of result, you do it boom, boom, boom three times, or you have to do it 5 times because you're trying to like hack into really another wavelength of energy. It sounds kind of crazy, but let's say for example, I've kind of forced myself to see 33 all the time, and it's crazy because 3 is it's one of my it's subconsciously hidden in one of the servitors that I've shown on the Facebook group, and it's crazy because like that 3 starts implanting itself on other people. Like I will see like 33 on this post on Facebook, or I'll turn the TV on and I see 33 going on over here on I don't know in a lottery game or something. Yeah, like you're right. Repetition does. What do they say about that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me see what else we can pretty much bring up. Product perception. Egregore versus what are they called? Egregore versus a servitor.
Okay.
And what's the difference?
Egregore is more like a tulpa, but they're kind of the same thing. If you think like more on a macro scale, but a servitor is more for a short-term goal. A servitor is manifested so you can just achieve one result. So let's say you have a servitor that hides or is within a grimoire. It only does one thing, and it protects your grimoire. Like it doesn't really do anything else besides that. But an egregore, let's say for example, its primary focus is to protect this grimoire, but as well it attracts other things related to the grimoire to me. So it's like it's going outside of just this book and doing other things within the reality that manifests results. A servitor is very simple. Like it doesn't take a lot of thought process to manifest. But an egregore, it takes time to shape and mold and slowly become something in your mind, in your reality that's going to change you in the long run. And you got to think also as well, like the more you develop an egregore, the more it becomes a physical, solid thing that you can implant. If you think about it, let's say the entire DC universe is a reality, right? And each superhero is an egregore or some kind of, it's like a spiritual manifestation. It's a representation of a certain idea that you're trying to manifest. it will then start affecting other things that are around you. Let's say, for example, Superman. Superman. People don't understand. Superman is a entity now. Like Superman is I wouldn't say conscious, but it's more like on a group conscious level. But Superman is now a solid, like it's a thing in our reality. If you take a Superman T-shirt and you put it on a child, the child's gonna think he's Superman. If you think about that from like on a macro scale, like Superman, it's like a spiritual force. I wouldn't say spiritual, but it's more like an energetic force that possessed that child. And people also think with possession is all about a demon or like some kind of crazy ghost that's going and causing chaos in your mind. Union with other things is a part of reality. Like you're a multidimensional being. You think that you're just gonna walk around by yourself. You never evolve unless you become one with the all with the one.
Right.
The more things that you bring around yourself, the more things that's going to manifest for you. Now going back to the egregores versus servitors, servitor with just a sigil and just put on a grimoire, like it's something that's not meant to cause strain. It's just something that you're passively doing. But also you got to understand when you develop an egregore, it becomes it becomes its own thing now. So sometimes it's out of your control. And I don't mean like it's going to like constantly haunt you or it's going to constantly put things that are around you to harm you. It becomes a point, a constant repetition of events that you constantly see. This synchronicity, if you will, is a constant series of events you constantly see. That's not saying constantly. Because a servitor doesn't cause so much stress on your mind, people develop a lot of them. Like I've seen, I wouldn't say seen, but I've roamed the internet, if you will, roamed like bookstores and stuff, and people say they have maybe like one or two, and it's only meant to like protect the garden or like protect the house. But there's people that develop they develop their an idea into something that can affect other things. They develop so many of them. It's like they created their own universe.
Right.
Because people like the universe itself is the organism. Like think about it that way. Like the universe is an organism, right? And every planet, every star system, every just massive collection of just data, information, anything you want to call it, like a nerve. And eventually, nerves are going to connect. Nerves are going to, intertangle with each other, and
right.
It becomes like a living system. Now, if you do that from a micro scale, like law of correspondence, if you do that from a micro scale, you could then affect everything that's around you on the macro scale, as above, so below. But
we're actually running out of time. I'm sorry to cut you off. We've got like a minute left into the show. Went by pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, I would say everybody go Christopher Hunter Myers, look him up. Appreciate you guys having me on. Don't really know why. Yeah, just dropping the knowledge, everybody. Hope y'all have a nice day, and hope you and your husband also have a nice day too.
Alrighty, well, take care, and hopefully we can link up again for something else.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me on. Anytime, just send me an email, hit me up on Facebook. That also goes out to anybody that's listening right now. If you just hit me up on Facebook, I'm cool. Like I'm cool with everybody. Like I don't do anything. So yeah, if anybody got any ideas or anything you want to just conversate with me, I'm always available.
Alrighty, until next time.
All right, then. Have a nice night.